okay? All this is this is a disagreement with the conditions of the program. That's all this is. It's a disagreement on the conditions of the program. It's not a property rights taking. We can't force a property owner to allow access or prohibit access. That's out of our hands. What this does is it just qualifies a condition. That's all it does.
Anything to say, Herb?
Well, just a couple thoughts. As far as the cost, the possible cost to the county or the taxpayers for litigation fees, that's definitely a concern. That's been, one of my concerns, having lived through the last one that we had, litigation that is. But if we don't do something, we're not going to know what that might wind up being. If we pass this, and this is just my thoughts, rebut me if you would. If we pass this and we run up against huge amounts of lawyer fees to try to keep it on the books and keep the big companies from beating us down with, we can back off. We put it into effect, we can take it out. But unless we put it into effect, we're not gonna know where, what happens next.
Here.
And as far as them locking up the land, that's very possible, and they have the right to do that. As far as I'm concerned, they're locking it up now.
Amen.
I checked with the timber company, and I live up to Wishkop, and if I wanted to go hunting on their land, which would be, say, Upper and Lower Donovan, I can hunt Lower Donovan, but it's $75 to go across the road. So, but then that's the only place I can go.
Can you walk in Donovan?
That's a question. Now, my understanding was that even with this fee, it's still a walk-in fee, not driving in.
There's only certain access points.
Pardon?
There's only certain access points. You don't get to drive into every single gate into that unit. For the Upper Donovan, I think there's maybe one access point.
For the whole area, and ITT Rainier has the same thing set up now. You might have a section that's along the highway that's 10 miles long, but maybe there's only one or two places that you can get in there, and so the access is extremely bad. I will say one thing here. Well, I'm really torn because I understand the timber owners, but torn more even now for everybody says that the county wastes money. We wasted money in a court fight, $700,000 worth. I mean, that is a tremendous amount of money. Okay, I don't want to we talk about this road levy shift. Are my fellow commissioners willing to make a road levy shift again so we can continue a court fight and say if it gets up to $500,000, $700,000? I mean, so there's a question too. I will, and I'm going to state here that I will vote yes on this. I'm going to vote yes very unhappily. I have been told by our attorney, who I respect highly, that we don't have a chance of a nice Cuban hell. Okay? So, and I respect Mr. Baker. I wish he was here. He's on vacation this week. He asked me to see about postponing until he'd come back, but I myself personally, I can't speak for the other commissioners, don't want to drag you guys back in here again. Okay, so I'm going to, yes, go ahead.
Okay, I will say that the ordinance doesn't force a timber company to prevent access. So that would be an excuse. All this does is say You know, it's a qualifying factor. Again, it does not force a timber company to close down. I've heard of threats to close down land, so it does not address that at all. So that would be their decision.
Oh, no, and it is, but if it's their decision to take us to court, where's the money coming from? See, there is mine. We are here, I can take you up here and every office in this whole county and show you 1 or 2 desks empty. We are right now, we're 51 people short than we was 3 years ago. Okay, that's a big cut. That's like a small mill shutting down, okay? And so it's not like we're fat cats and we got a great big wallet out here where we can do this. I agree with people like Bill and Mr. Wilson and them there too, that, you know, that they have rights too. I'm gonna vote yes on this, hoping that this will bring Weyerhaeuser and Rainier to the table with it. That's the reason I'm voting yes, because here I am a Democrat, and property rights is a big important thing to me. It really is. But I'm gonna vote yes. I'm gonna agree with Wes. I'm gonna agree with Herb here. But I'm voting yes for the reason I hope they'll come to the table, meet us halfway. I would be thrilled if they come out and they said, okay, we're gonna have a fee like a Discovery Pass to go on Weyerhaeuser property and it costs you $50. I wouldn't have a problem with that. That means we have access. They know who's on their property, which is something they should know. And with that $50, they can take care of their insurance costs in there. So that's my 2 bits worth. I'll shut up now.
I just assumed you'd not bring up the fact that you're a Democrat. I don't
I'm sorry. Okay, we've had a motion and a second made. We've had tons of discussion among the commissioners up here and among you wonderful folks too. So I'm going to call for a vote on this motion.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye is voted and approved.
I would like to add too that I do want to thank Representative Brian Blake and Dan Boholt for their help throughout this process. Without these gentlemen, I don't think that this would have seen, we wouldn't have not seen this ordinance. I also want to thank my fellow commissioners for joining in the vote too. So thank you.